talking about recruiting mentality. You know, this is something that me, my team, Adric, Paco, all these guys, I mean, we just breathe, eat, and sleep recruiting. I mean, it's all we think about, it's all we listen to. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So recruiting is really 90% why and 10% how. A lot of people come in and they're like, oh, like the main question is, how do I recruit people? And that's a fair question, but I think a better question is why. Why are you recruiting people? Because Jim Rohn, everybody knows Jim Rohn, right? He says, when the why is strong, the how is easy. So if you know why you're doing it, it's just going to happen. It's just automatically going to happen. So me and Adric and Paco, at the beginning of the month, every month we create a poster of like our goals for the month. And we always have a list of whys. And I think it's really important to have a list of whys, whether it's your kids, your parents. You know, for me, I want to retire my parents. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a different why. Some people want a Lamborghini. You know, it doesn't really matter. There's no wrong answer for your why. Everybody has a different why. Maybe you want to help the people back at your country. It doesn't matter what it is. You got to have a strong why. And the other thing is, a lot of people, when they recruit somebody, they talk about their personal whys, right? Like, they're like, this is why I started the business. And that's cool. You should still do that. Tell your personal story. But you got to talk about their whys, too. Because they might not have the same whys as you, right? Like, I brought Noel in, and he's like, oh, I need to retire my mom. You know, I watched my parents bust their butt forever, and now they still don't have anything to show for it. So that's a why. You know, you want to talk about their whys, not just yours. And once they see the why, once they see why they need to do this, the how is just going to happen. It's just going to happen automatically. Because once they see the full picture, if you're just like recruit, this is how you do it, they're not understanding why they're doing it. And I think it's more important for them to understand why they're doing it than how to do it. The other thing is, when you have a big why, you won't be as affected by the no's when people say no to you. Because your why is just so much stronger than their no, that you're just next. It doesn't matter, right? Going deep fast, this is huge. This is huge because obviously we want to get people off to a quick start. And what I've been doing recently, I wish I would have been doing this longer, but when I bring somebody on board, the first thing I'm doing is I'm having them post a flyer on their Instagram story. It's nothing crazy. It literally just says, my company is looking for 3 to 5 people. That's it. That's all it says. And I swear, within 12 hours, they're going to have 3 to 4 people saying, I'm interested. Wow. Right, Noah? Yeah, that's what happened. And then he submitted his IBA the same day he got a recruit from them. Wow. So, you know, like I said, I wish I'd been doing this longer. I can send the flyer to Thomas so he can post it on the thread. But it'll help them get licensed quicker, too, because if, you know, now he has somebody under him, and he's probably going to have somebody else under him after today. He wants to get licensed because I've explained overrides to him. I told him, look, you can't make money off somebody until you're licensed. And if your people understand override, they want to override other people, they don't want to miss out on free money. He knows I'm going to field train his people. If he's not licensed, he can't make money, right? So it's going to push them to get that license quicker. Another thing is, what qualities are you looking for? I messed up with this a lot. You know, like a lot of people, they're picky with who they recruit. You know, like they'll walk in and be like, oh, nah, that guy, he already has a good job. You know, this guy, nah, he's from this place. I'm not going to talk to that guy. But the two most important qualities are coachability and credibility. Because somebody that's coachable, they're going to follow your system. Like, for example, Adric, Paco, me. We're so hungry, we're so coachable. Anything Samir tells us to do, I mean, we're doing it. If Samir tells me to jump out this window right now, I'm going to do it. I'm not doing it.
Do it.
And the reason why is because I know Samir has a financial interest in me. And a lot of people think that's a bad thing. They're like, oh, you just want me to make more money so you make more money. It's like, sure, but at your job, they want you to make less money. Which one's better, right? So if I know he has a financial interest in me, I'm glad he wants me to do better, right? So without coachability, the whole system collapses. Don't prejudge. There's no test to measure the size of somebody's heart. Art Williams says this all the time. All the time. And a lot of simple-looking people turn out to be superstars, and vice versa. You know, people that look really sharp, they end up not doing anything, right? But a lot of simple people turn out being superstars. I mean, look at Shaq, right? Yeah, he's got the little ball, you know?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Like 0 plus 3.
Oh my God!
No, but it's vice versa too, because I've had really sharp people come in, like Dylan, right? I had a pilot come in here. A lot of you guys know who that was. He put me in like 150 three-way text messages the day he started. I mean, like he was coachable, but he didn't have credibility. They gotta have both. Like he brought me on like 20, 30 appointments, but he just like jumps from opportunity to opportunity, so nobody trusted him. So when I got an appointment with them, they were like, nah, I don't want anything to do with this guy. So they gotta have both. And the reason you don't want to prejudge is because almost all of your predictions turn out to be wrong. You know, you don't want to celebrate too early. And I've done that a lot. You know, I'm like, oh, this guy's a stud, blah, 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 superstar. And you kind of let yourself down when you do that, when they don't show up.
Yeah.
So, but other way around too. You don't want to count them out. You know, some people are like, oh, this guy, you know, he's from Herndon. Nah, I don't like this guy. But you never know. You never know. And a good example of that is Hector Lamar. You know, when he was recruited, he got recruited in 1982. But the guy that recruited him, he kept following up with him. He actually didn't even do anything until 1984, 2 years later. And a lot of people, you know, like if someone's like they get offended if somebody's like, oh no, I don't have time for this right now, I'm just not interested right now. People get offended and they just write them off. They're like, yeah, you do want to keep moving, but you should have a list of people to follow up with. You might have recruited somebody 2 years ago that now is in the perfect position for this. You just haven't, you know, messaged them back. You haven't followed up with them. So I just want to be following up with people. Prospecting methods. Shaq told me that you should have 3 sources of prospecting. And mine are social media, out and about, meeting people, and lists from new people. Social media, I think we all need to do this more. All the big hierarchies are just killing social media right now. Like the Santanas, Josh and Patty in Texas, all the guys in Florida, they're all just doing social media. I think we all need to do this more. I send 60 messages a day. You can only send 20 at a time. So I'll send 20 in the morning, 20 in the middle of the day, 20 at night. And the way I find people is I literally just, because when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. So I just went on Instagram. You can look up DMV. And there's a Irons Gym in Reston. And they have an Instagram page. So I just went through their followers, started messaging all these people, went through their followers, and I have a list of all the people whose followers I want to go through. So when I'm done going through this person's followers, I go to the next person. I'm just always messaging people. And I also post 3 videos a day on TikTok. It's nothing crazy. Like it's literally just like a flyer that says, hey, I'm looking for people. And I get 2 to 3 numbers a day from it. Sometimes they're out of state. That's fine. But yeah, and then out and about, malls, grocery stores. How many people go shopping in here? I know Sheila does.
Oh my God.
Right? Like, there's just people walking around. Like, and if you smile, it's crazy. Like, people look at you like, what's wrong with this guy? You know, they're like, I wanna know what he's doing. So, you know, just walk up to somebody. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. I mean, who cares, right? And the other thing I do is when I prospect them, if they say no, you know, because some people aren't comfortable giving you their number, I'll say, okay, that's fine. Let me just connect with you on social media in case, you know, something happens in the future. I get their Instagram, I go through their followers. I get 5 contacts a day from doing this. I mean, malls, grocery stores. I live above the Wegmans. Every time I go down there, I'm prospecting at least 2 people. Gas stations. Sometimes I'll be getting gas and I'll see a really sharp guy pumping his gas. So I'll just go walk up to him. Restaurants, prospect the host, ask for the manager. I get 5 a day from going out and talking to people. just meet new people. How much time do I have? Okay. I am gonna go over what I say when I prospect somebody. So, when I prospect somebody, if I'm in the mall, I'm in the grocery store, I'm gonna say, hey, can you help me out real quick?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate you for helping me out. I'm actually new to this area. I just moved here from Michigan, and I opened a financial services office down the road from here. We're just looking for some part-time and full-time people. I was wondering, do you know anybody that's keeping their options open for work?
Not anybody on top of my head.
No worries, no worries. Well, just out of curiosity, what do you do?
I'm a chef.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, how long have you been doing that?
A little over 10 years.
Okay. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, pay the bills.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And do you plan on doing that for like the rest of your life, or?
No, I'm thinking about starting my own business.
Oh, really? Really? What made you want to get into business?
No, just more time for my family and make more money then.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we're actually looking for people. How about I exchange information with you, and then on a different day and time, I can just give you a call. And if it's a mutual fit, we can just go from there, but there's no obligation on your end. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then I'll get his number, I'll text him, I'll call him the next day. When you say, do you know anybody, their guard is down. But if you just walk up to them like, hey, are you keeping your options open? You know, they're like, no.
So people are texting me questions. The first is, how long does it take for you to send 50 DMs?
50. Well, I send 20 at a time, so it usually takes me 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so 30
So-
minutes if you do 50,
Right.
40, 50.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you prospect, like, what's your demeanor, dress code, these types of things? Just
Yeah,
so we can-
I don't wear like suit and tie because people know you're sales or something, and they're like, nah, this guy, I'm not talking. I dress casual, like how Samir dresses. I'll wear like, you know, jeans and a nice polo or something, but I don't dress like super crazy because otherwise they like, you almost like offend them. They like feel put down. They're like, oh, who's this guy?
You send messages on Instagram and Facebook, or just Instagram?
Yeah, I do both. Yeah. So you can technically send 20 on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, but you know sometimes I'm too busy to do both. I mainly do Instagram, but you can do both. Is there any other questions on it?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about as far as coachability. So there's this story I heard from Bill Whittle where, you know, some people come in here and they're like, oh, I want to be on salary, right? And Bill Whittle used to tell people, obviously we don't have the authority to do this, right? But Bill Whittle used to tell people, he would say, okay, how about this? You do what I say for 12 months. If you don't make 100,000, I'll put you on a salary. And he always says, guess how many people did it? 0. Because if they did what he said for 12 months, they're going to make over 100,000. So, that's it. Any questions from anybody? All right, cool.